Hi everyone, so today's lesson is just a little section on 9.4 that we're going to do, and then we're going to go back and do the rest of 9.4 later. But right now we're talking about the sigma notation formulas, and instead of boring you with writing them all out, they're on page 679 of your book if you want to look at them. And they go with the powers of 1 through 5, and that's the ones you'll basically be looking at. I know we don't really know what they are yet, but basically on tonight's homework, the back or the second page of the worksheet, these are the 4 most common ones that we work with. And so basically if you look at for I cubed, right, you're going from I is 1 to n, and this is just the equation for adding up this sort of situation where you have an I cubed, something cubed. You have your n, this is the exact formula that you use, and tonight's practice is just using these formulas. So I'm going to do 2 examples. Most of you will find this pretty straightforward, and then there are 2 other ones in the book on page 679 if you want to look at those too. But okay, so number 1, you're taking the summation from 1 to 10 of n to the 5th. So again, I have my book here in front of me, but on page 679, it's n to the 5th, so I'm using the number 5, this property here, which is n squared times quantity n plus 1 squared, times the quantity 2n squared plus 2n minus 1, all divided by 12. So, I'll write that up here on my paper. Alright, so, here we go. You are just substituting into that equation. So in this case, your n is 10. So this is 10 because of this 10. So I'm going to have 10 squared times the quantity of 10 plus 1, so that's 11 squared, times 2 times 10 squared, left myself tons of room again, plus 2 times 10 minus 1, all divided by 12. And so you'd be using your calculator for this, and once you do that, you're going to get 2,220, 825. I didn't even say that right. My kids are running around. 220,825. Ay, ay, ay. All right, number 2. Another example here for you. So with this one, you want to break this one down. You have your constants, the numbers there in front, your coefficients 5 and 7 that can be pulled out. So you'll have 5 times the summation from n equals 1 to 20 of n squared minus, take the 7 out in front, 7 times the summation of n is 1 to 20 of n. And so now we're just going to use our equations. So luckily these are on this paper here. So for n squared, I'm using the I squared one, and in this case n is 20. Okay, so I'm using this one right here. So I'm going to have, I'll go back over to my paper, but so I'll have 5 times the quantity of all of this. So it's going to be 5 times, again, the equation says n, so n is 20, and then times n plus 1, so that's 20 plus 1, which is 21, times 2 times n, so 2 times 20, plus 1, and this equation is all divided by 6. And then I'm going to subtract 7 times. Now I have to use the equation for just n, okay, which is right here. N times the quantity of n plus 1 over 2. So it will be 20 times 20 plus 1 is 21, all divided by 2. And so, believe it or not, a lot of people usually struggle with just typing these into the calculator. So make sure, like, when you're typing this whole numerator in, that you're using double parentheses before you hit divide by 6, because you don't want to just divide that last term by 6. It's everything in the numerator by 6. So do make sure that you are able to successfully type that in. So that's it today, guys. The next lesson, we will be talking about proofs, which will take us a couple days.